Hey, old guys, ready to lose?
You're the old man in charge here.
And I'm ready to remind you what you're playing for today.
Come on.
Whoever wins the most rounds today wins the presidency of the United States.
I'll take it anyway.
You'll get over it. Pay the tax first.
Let's get started.
Trump, you're stumbling more than your business ventures.
Joe, at least my ventures are tremendous. Can't say the same for your legislative feats.
Oh, the nostalgia of watching you two stumble through policies and games alike. It's like old times.
Speaking of old times, Trump, your tax returns are older than my political career.
Joe, you should appreciate a good tax strategy. Maybe you'd have more ice cream money.
Ice cream money? Joe, you're turning the presidency into a dairy farm.
Well, at least I'm not turning it into a reality show, Donald.
Reality show? Joe, people loved it. Ratings through the roof.
Ratings through the roof? That's what happens when you mix politics with entertainment.
Barack, remember those debates? It's like this game, full of stumbling, but I always come out on top.
Joe, you stumbled over your words more than these obstacles.
I've built great buildings, Joe. Can't say the same about your political legacy.
Buildings, Donald? More like towers of debt.
Towers of debt? I've seen more solid structures in this game.
Well, folks, it seems like the race is getting heated. I haven't seen this much stumbling since Congress tried to pass bipartisan legislation.
I'm approaching the finish line. Get ready for a historic win, folks.
Historic win. More like a historic comb-over.
Ah, the classic comb-over joke. Never gets old, Joe.
Very funny, but I'm almost at the finish line.
This can't be true. Obama, tell him.
Actually, he's right, Trumpy-Rumpy. He's already finishing.
And the king of this race in the country of the United States becomes...
It can't be.
Joe Biden is the winner.
You have a second round of revenge, Donald.
I will definitely do it. Old Joe, maybe you should retire and focus on your ice cream.
Retire? I'll retire when you release those tax returns.
Ah, the tax return card. Classic move, Joe.
Barack, you should join the game. It's like herding cats, but with stumbling politicians.
I'll pass, Joe. My stumbling days are over. Now, let's see who stumbles their way to victory.
Victory is mine. The best, the greatest victory.
The greatest victory? Almost as great as that time you hosted a beauty pageant.
Beauty pageant? More like a stumbling contest.
Gentlemen, let's focus. The finish line awaits, and America is watching your stumble to greatness.
Trump, your stumbling is like a bad trade deal. Everyone loses.
Joe, my deals are tremendous. Can't say the same about your deals with the Senate.
Ah, the Senate deals. Reminds me of trying to get health care through Congress.
Healthcare, Donald. Maybe you could use some virtual healthcare after all these stumbles.
Virtual healthcare? Joe, I'm in the real estate business, not fantasy land.
Fantasyland, I remember those executive orders, Donald. A bit like playing a game without rules.
Speaking of rules, Trump, you're stumbling over them just like your tweets.
Tweets, Joe. My tweets are the best. Maybe you should try tweeting more.
Ah, the tweeting advice. Reminds me of trying to navigate international diplomacy in 280 characters.
Diplomacy, Donald. Maybe you could use some of that in this game. It's not a reality show.
Reality show, Joe? People loved it. Maybe I'll host a virtual reality show next.
Virtual reality show? That's one way to stumble into the future.
Future, Donald. Maybe I'll show you how it's done, like passing a bill through Congress.
Passing a bill? Joe, you've been in Congress longer than I've been in the real estate game.
Doesn't it bother you that I'm going to win now?
Fuck you, you old fool.
So Joe can win!
No, I'm going to fall.
Drop already!
Oh, no.
And the winner of this race is Joe Biden.
Make some noise!
It's not fair. Give a third chance.
So be it. Let's go. Stumbling marathon, Donald. Maybe you should join the race instead of building towers.
I build the best towers, Joe. Just like I'll build the best path to victory in this game.
I think we ran a little in the wrong direction.
You just think.
I also fell, damn it. So what are we talking about there?
Campaign promises, Donald. Maybe you should promise a victory in this game. It'll be a first.
First victory. Joe, I've had plenty. Maybe I'll name this victory after one of my buildings.
Victory Tower, Donald? That's a fitting name for a virtual triumph?
Triumph Trump. Maybe this will be the only triumph you get this year.
The election year references, it's like watching a political comedy show.
Comedy show, Joe? Maybe I'll run for comedian-in-chief next.
Comedian-in-chief, Donald. That's a tough act. Almost as tough as this game.
The tough act, gentlemen, reminds me of trying to get consensus in the Oval Office.
Oval Office consensus, Trump. Maybe you should try it sometime. Less stumbling that way.
Oval Office consensus? Joe, I'm a builder, not a consensus seeker.
Ah, the builder's mentality. It's like trying to build a coalition with Legos.
Legos, Donald. Maybe you should stick to virtual Legos instead of towers.
Virtual Legos, Joe. I build the best virtually and in reality.
The best builder, almost as convincing as those reality TV contracts.
Reality TV contracts, Trump. Maybe you could negotiate a better deal in this game.
Negotiate a better deal? Joe, I always get the best deal, virtual or not.
Ah, the best deal. Reminds me of trying to negotiate climate agreements.
Climate agreements, Donald. Maybe you could use some of that negotiation skill to avoid these virtual pitfalls.
Virtual pitfalls, Joe. I navigate them like I navigate real estate.
The real estate navigation. Almost as intricate as navigating a global pandemic.
Global pandemic, Trump. Maybe you could use some of your tremendous leadership in this game.
Leadership, Joe. My leadership is unmatched. Maybe I'll lead this game to victory.
The leadership claim. Almost as bold bold as claiming victory before the race is over.
Victory claim, Donald. Maybe you'll surprise us all and actually win.
Win, Joe. Get ready for the Trump victory dance at the finish line.
Yes, but in my opinion, only Biden is close to winning this round.
Yes, Trumpy Rumpy, I won again.
This can't be happening, bitch.
Trump, let's maintain some decency.
Okay, Barack.
I won and I'll go celebrate my victory.
See you in a new video.
Bye, everyone.